Welcome to Second Take, the show that focuses on the issues behind the news. South Africa's 4 biggest construction companies have recently reported on their annual financial results. Irma Venter joins me to discuss some of the highlights. Irma, welcome to Second Take.
Mariaan.
What were some of the most visible trends from the results?
One of the first big things that you would obviously notice is that profitability has come under pressure. So you would see that 2 of the companies reported a loss. Mariaan quite a big loss actually, and 2 companies reported profit still, but quite a smaller profit than a year ago. So you can see that the margins are under pressure. You can see that work though is not really less. You can see order books are increasing, you can see revenue is up, but you can see that profitability is down, which means companies are doing more work at much smaller margins. Avenge CEO Roger Jardine, for example, said that previously you would find 4 or 5 companies pitching a tender for a project, but now you would find 18 to 20, so there's definitely increased competition. Then some of the 2 other factors that came very obvious during these results was that a lot of South African companies are moving work offshore away from South Africa. It's not necessarily that they want to, they just say that's where the work is at the moment. So they're moving into Africa and they're moving into Australia. They're following a lot of the resources boom. So you'll see Western Australia, you'll see Ghana, you'll see a lot of countries like this feature. They have a lot of resources that our companies are following, the mining companies, into those areas. And then one of the other big factors that you can see, there was also an increase in the number of problematic projects, which was a bit strange. I don't think you can necessarily question the capability of our South African firms. You can also maybe look at factors such as companies saying yes, or governments or corporations saying yes to a big project in 2008. Then happened the global crisis, and then all of a sudden they maybe ran out of money. They had to rescope the project, and then a lot of construction companies were left to scramble and find and reconfigure these projects. But you can also question maybe perhaps risk management on the side of our companies. Did they properly look at the risk of doing this specific project? Because there was also definitely an increase in a number of problematic projects across the board for a lot of these companies.
All these factors must have led to some job losses.
There's been a big drain on jobs in the sector, which is really sad for South Africa. I mean, we really try and create jobs, but you could see, for example, Group 5, since the construction boom in 2008, it shed about 3,600 jobs. Avenge is about 5,000 people less, so which is quite sad news, yes.
What is the outlook for this sector?
None of the CEOs wanted to commit to say that it's really positive. It seems like a lot of them are hopeful that we've reached the bottom of the cycle now, that we can look forward. A very clear trend was, though, that they don't expect a lot of money to flow from South African government soon. Last year, a lot of them said maybe this year. This year, they said maybe 18 to 24 months from now, we'll see government spending flow through. But I think that's dependent again on global macroeconomics. What if South Africa's government just say, well, I don't know if we can really afford to run these multi-billion rand projects at the moment. So let's see if that happens. Let's see if these projects start to flow through from government, because we do need that to retain skills and to retain jobs in South Africa. We need government to spend some money. So let's hope that that trend turns and that we start to see more projects coming through in South Africa. The other thing that may impact on the outlook for the construction industry is that China seems to be cooling down in their demand for commodities. That, of course, is a big influence on our South African construction companies, especially if you now think that we're all very active in Australia and Africa in these commodity type projects, which directly, so China's cooling demand directly affects these type of projects. So we'll see what happens in the next few months.
Irma, thank you very much. That is the Second Take show for this week. Thank you for watching, and join us again next time for more news analysis.